We've reached a point where people are willing to die on a hill that doesn't matter. The nutrition world has become a carnivore of panic, and every week there's a new villain. One week it's seed oils, next it's coffee. Give it a month and somebody will tell you chewing gum causes metabolic collapse. We've managed to turn eating into a contact sport. Everyone's an expert, everyone's angry, but no one seems healthier. The internet, it loves an enemy. It's easier to wage a war against a bottle of rapeseed oil than actually have a conversation about why 80% of the population doesn't eat enough fibre or cook from scratch anymore. It is more profitable to terrify people about sunflower oil than actually teach them how to figure out making a meal that isn't beige. And that's the real problem. We're not fixing anything. We're just arguing in circles why the basics fall apart. Welcome to the era of nutritional paranoia. It's never been easier to find someone online telling you that breakfast is going to kill you. Because if you believed every headline, coffee causes cancer, prevents cancer, boosts longevity, and ruins your liver, all in the same week. Seed oils? Either the devil's lubricant, or completely fine depending what influencer you follow. Protein bars are apparently dangerous now, according to Joe Wicks, a man who once convinced Britons to do star jumps in their kitchen during a pandemic. And look, I get it, Joe, real food matters. But when somebody grabs a protein bar instead of skipping lunch, that's not failure, that's survival. The problem isn't that these conversations exist. It's that they've become a substitute for education. We've replaced understanding with anxiety. Instead of teaching people how to build balanced meals, we tell them to fear their pantry. Instead of helping them find variety, we push purity instead of nuance. We sell panic. And the more confused people become, the easier they are to manipulate. Nobody is moving the needle. Here's the thing nobody wants to admit. These arguments aren't helping anyone. The rates of obesity, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, they're still climbing. Mental health is deteriorating. People are more disconnected from food than ever before. And yet every day, somebody is screaming online what oil to cook with, as if the fate of civilization depends on it. Basically, we're rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship. The average person doesn't need another hot take on canola oil. They need to know how to shop on a budget, how to prepare vegetables that don't taste like sadness, and how to stop treating food as the enemy. Those are the conversations that matter. They're the ones that actually change lives. But they don't trend. They don't sell ebooks. They don't get clicks. There's such a myth around the perfect diet. Part of the reason this nonsense exists is because we're all addicted to the idea of perfection. We've been sold this fantasy that if we eat exactly right, we'll be invincible. Glowing skin, endless energy, eternal youth. And when the perfection proves impossible, we look for someone to blame. So that's when we start picking the scapegoat. Seed oils, carbs, sugar, gluten, soy. Anything but the uncomfortable truth that health is boring. Repetitive and built on habits that nobody wants to market. The truth is there is no single food that will destroy you, and also no single food that will save you. There's just overall pattern. But moderation doesn't sell as well as miracle. There's no influencer empire built on telling people to eat more lentils and go to bed early. The real problem is nobody knows how to eat. We have a generation that can tell you their macros, but they can't cook. People know the protein content of a chicken breast, but not what fibre does. Bro, kids can name a dozen supplements before they can even name a single leafy green. That's not progress, that's just marketing dressed as education. We've made nutrition complicated on purpose. The more confused people are, the more they outsource their thinking. And the more they outsource their thinking, the more money someone makes selling the solution. But the fix isn't another debate, it's not another detox. It's teaching people the basics, what real food looks like, what balanced actually means, how to eat in a way that supports their life instead of hijacking it. That's the bigger picture everybody's missing. When you zoom out, the problem isn't oil, it's the system. We live in a food environment that's built for profit, not nourishment. Cheap ultra-processed foods dominate the shelves because it's convenient, it's consistent, and because it's profitable. People don't buy it because they're lazy. They buy it because it's there. Because it's affordable. Because they've never learned how to make anything else. So when the wellness industry screams about seed oils, it's missing the point entirely. You don't fix a broken food system by swapping sunflower oil for tallow. You fix it by educating people and giving them options that make sense. Health shouldn't be a luxury or a full-time job. It should be a thing ordinary people can actually do. Which brings it down to the case of boring nutrition. If we really cared about improving public health, we'd stop arguing around the edges and start focusing on the middle. We'd promote diversity, not dogma. We'd make nutrition simple again. Meals that balance protein, fats, carbs, fibre, micronutrients, flavour, without needing a nutrition degree to assemble them. The unglamorous truth that what most people need is dull. Eat more plants, move more, sleep properly, drink water, repeat, forever. It's not sexy. It works. And until that becomes foundation, all the other debates are just noise. Because we're arguing ourselves sick. The irony is the more we talk about health, the less healthy we become. Because we're not having conversations, we're having arguments. We're too busy defending tribes and theories to admit that what really matters isn't about winning the debate. It's what people are actually eating. If half the energy spent attacking seed oils went into teaching people how to roast vegetables or cook their beans, we'd be living in a very different world. If influencers stopped fear-mongering and started mentoring, public health would improve overnight. But that doesn't make good content. So instead we argue loudly, repeatedly, and pointlessly. You know, maybe it was never about the oil. Maybe the real danger isn't really what's in the bottle, but what's in the message. Because every time we choose outrage over education, the noise wins. Every time we prioritize panic over progress, we teach people that health is something to fear, not something to build. So no, seed oils aren't the villain. Coffee won't kill you. And your protein bar isn't a moral failing. The problem isn't that people are making bad choices. It's the fact that we've made it impossible for them to understand what a good one looks like. The future of nutrition won't belong to the person who screams the loudest about what's wrong. It'll belong to people teaching others how to do what's right. Patiently, clearly, without hysteria. Because the thing is, it was never about oil. It's about who we become when we stop thinking critically. Yeah. There's another video there. No woo-woo, no detox scams, no quinoa obsession. Just evidence, sass. Click it.